Welcome, friends, to the Get Out of Debt for Good course. This is the ultimate guide to paying off debt and never getting back in debt again. My name is Catherine Vanderlaan. I'm a financial coach, career coach, and small business owner. I'm very excited that you're here. I'm very excited to help you get out of debt and never, ever get back in debt again. That is the whole point of this course. The point is, after working with hundreds and hundreds of people myself, I have found there are many questions, many processes, many things that help everyone get out of debt for good. And so instead of working with people on this high ticket one-on-one getting out of debt program, I decided to make it into a course. So here we are in the Get Out of Debt for Good course. I'm excited to take you through it, and I just want to say, you have made the first decision. You've made a great decision to invest in your future, to get out of debt and never look back. This course, by the way, is not a pump up course. This is not a course all about motivation. This is a course about practically how to do it. Okay. I'm a very practical person. Uh, I live right now around Boston, Massachusetts. I'm just going to tell you like it is. And I am going to get down to the dirty details of getting out of debt. So, we're going to give you all of the practical steps to getting out of debt. Now, this first lesson, very first lesson, is about, well, getting started. It is about setting your vision, setting your goals, making sure that you know where you're going. This is the quote fluffiest end quote lesson that I have. People think of it as the least practical. It isn't. Okay, let me stop you right there. This is not an impractical lesson. I can't do it. There's no way. I've never been able to be impractical in my life. So this lesson is about understanding what you're working toward, what you're actually trying to do to get out of debt. Okay, what you are trying to accomplish here. And if you don't know what you're working toward, you won't be able to create that roadmap to get there. You need to know your destination in order to get the Google directions. Okay. Your GPS always asks you where you're going in order to give you directions to get there. What are you working toward? Well, I'm not stupid. I know you're here because you want to get out of debt. All right. I get that. I get that. But we need to know what's on the other side of it too. We need to know what's motivating you. We need to know the reasons you're trying to get out of debt. Now, when I ask people this, they will usually say things like, I can't make my payments. And I see this as my only way out of my current financial situation. It's stressing me out, guys. I can't get out of debt. I don't know how to pay off my debt. I don't know the steps to get there. Nobody taught me. I don't know how to do it. Please teach me how to do it. So, I get that. Some people say, I just want to sleep well again. I'm not sleeping at night. I'm getting debt collectors calling me. I have creditors calling me. I just want to sleep well again. Other people, they say, I just can't live like this anymore. I want to be able to afford a vacation. It's been years since I've taken a vacation. Or I want to afford college or buy a house or just really a life that's comfortable, a life where I'm not working all the time, where I'm not stressed about finances, where every single time I open my mail, I hope that there isn't a bill there. I get that. Been there. Okay. Been there. This is what I work with. Okay. Every day now. Some people come to me and they say, I want to give to the people I love or to causes or churches or missionaries or organizations. I want to be generous and I can't right now. That breaks my heart. Or I want to leave my kids something when I'm gone, something they'll be proud of. Other people call that a legacy. They want to leave something to the next generation. Do any of these resonate with you? Do any of these sound like you? These are the common reasons that I hear. Every single day I hear something like that. So tell me or write down somewhere as you're going through this. I hope you're taking notes because I'm going to ask you to do things. I'm going to give you homework after every single one of these lessons. It's linked below, but you need to be taking notes through this. This is your future you're changing. This is your money that you're handling. So here I am. I'm going to give you a roadmap to getting out of debt. I need you to put down on a piece of paper, pause now if you don't have that piece of paper, if you don't have a notebook and a pencil or a pen, write down what is motivating you. Why are you trying to get out of debt? What's your motivation? What do you really want to get out of becoming debt free? Some people, it's as simple as I want to take a vacation without having to pay it off for the next 3 or 4 months. Other people, there's a little bit more to it. I want to have less than 20 debt accounts open, 20 credit cards. I've worked with people with over $100,000 in credit card debt. I've worked with people with over $400,000 in student loan debt. I've worked with people who, and currently still work with people who have 10, 15, over 20 loans or credit cards or just different accounts. I personally, at one point, I had 20 different loans or accounts, crediting accounts open. 20. Okay. That's not as uncommon as you think. Now we're completely debt free. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this, because I did it myself. My husband and I did it together. Okay. We know what it's like to be completely just immersed in this culture, this debt culture. We know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. I literally gave myself malnourishment. And I'm touching my hair because I was losing my hair because I couldn't sleep at night. I wasn't eating healthy. I was stressed out of control. My stress was out of control trying to pay off my debt. So I know what it's like being there and then having somebody come over here and ask you, "What's your motivation?" Well, hey, guess what? I don't want to lose my hair. So let's move on, guys. I want you to know a strong motivation is a strong future memory. A strong motivation will bring you through the tough decisions you'll have to make. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. If you are trying to get out of debt, you're probably going to have to make some tough decisions. We'll get there when we get there. I'm not going to bring it up now, but you might have to make some really tough decisions. You might not, and that's okay. And I hope that's you. And I hope you don't have to make tough decisions, but you might. So let's build that strong future memory, that strong motivation right now, with your pencil and paper. And then you got to jump on your homework, okay? And as as we craft that strong future memory, that's going to be your motivation to going through all this. All right. It is not an easy journey that you're on, but it's also not easy now, is it? So pick your hard. Do you want your journey to be hard now and easy later? Or do you want it to be hard now and harder later? I know what I picked. And I hope if you're in this course, you picked being debt free. That's hard now and easy later. All right, so let's do it. If we were just talking, if we were talking, just you and me, in 5 years about what you are proud of accomplishing over the next 5 years, what would you say? So let me rephrase that. Let's say you and I were talking 5 years from now. We sat down and I asked you, hey, what are you proud of over the last 5 years? What what are you proud of having accomplished over the last 5 years? What would you say? What would you say? What about 10 years from now? What about 20 years? We sat down and I said, hey there, Susan, what are you proud of accomplishing? What are you excited about? I want you to write down what comes to mind. Okay, maybe it's your career. Maybe it's getting out of debt completely. Maybe it's funding a vacation for your family and friends. Maybe it's building a business. What are you working toward? And in 10 years or 20 years from now, tell me, what are you proud to have accomplished? Your life won't change until you change your life. Let me say that again. Your life will not change until you change your life. You have to change something about your life in order to change what your life looks like, feels like. What do you want to change about your life? How do you want your future life to look? We're going to that is the point of this whole lesson. This lesson is crafting the future you want your life to look like. Okay. So let's make it visual. Let's put some legs on that future memory. Okay. This is the exercise that generally gives me some good results with people. What we do is this is the future visualization exercise. Make it visual. So Imagine your ideal average day 5 or 10 years from now. Depending on how old you are, pick a date in time 5 or 10 years from right now, the moment you're listening to this right now. I want to know what your ideal average day looks like. I want to know what it sounds like. I want to know what it smells like. I want to know what it feels like, tastes like. I want to know all of those things. Somebody once told me, and I know it's true, that our strongest memories are associated with a scent, right? I know, I can tell you right now what my grandmother's laundry detergent smells like, what my parents' sheets smell like. And to me, it smells like comfort. It smells like home. It smells like love. It smells like wonderful times. So, what is your future? What is that future you're trying to create? Is it that love? Is it that same comforting smell and sound and feeling and taste and look? What is that to you? To everyone, it's a little different. Okay. Here's one that one of my clients wrote. 5 years from now, I'll be completely out of credit card debt and student loan debt. That's almost $300,000 away. She's a third of the way there now, by the way. It's been about a year. I'll be able to spend more time with my family, my daughter. She'll be in first grade then, and I'll be able to pick her up after school, take her on trips, sing her favorite songs, and goof around in the way she likes. She'll know me as the mom who's around, who bakes cookies and makes yummy food. I didn't have that growing up. My parents worked all the time. I'll hear her laughter, her crying, and help her learn to read. That's what being debt free means to me. That's what I'm buying when I'm paying off this debt and working double shifts. It's worth it. That's one of my clients. She's a nurse. And in 5 years, her daughter will be in first grade. She wants to be there for her daughter. She wants to be there like her parents weren't. You'll notice here, she said what it feels like. She said what it looks like. She said what it smells like, what it tastes like. She said what it sounds like, right? Her daughter's laughter. That's what she wants. That's what she wants more of. And her love is drawing her through, is pulling her through her debt-free journey. That's what you need to do today. So go ahead and put some legs on your future memory. Imagine your ideal average day 5 or 10 years from now. She did hers 5 years, okay, because she was in her 30s. So she did hers 5 years from now. Some people do theirs 10 years from now. It's hard to think that far away, but that's okay. Write a little story, write a future memory about what it looks like, sounds like, smells like, feels like, and tastes like. Okay. Now we're going to go through and that's your homework. So you can do it now or you can do it after this video is over. That's fine. Now we're going to go through something I absolutely want you to know. I need you to know your roadmap. Okay. And I have here at Saver Street created something called the Steps to Financial Freedom, Saver Street Steps to Financial Freedom. They are, so you know, adapted from Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps, but he has not updated them in about 20 years. So I took the liberty of updating them, making sure that they were inflation adjusted. I tend to work with people in high cost of living areas. And so that's what we're going to go through right now is those updated steps to financial freedom. So now that you have your future memory, we're going to talk through the steps to get there. These will be important to set your next financial goals and get you out of debt. These are your high level steps. Okay, and you'll see those in a second. Step 0, that's catch up on essential bills. Okay, that is making sure that you don't have a lot of creditors calling you. You are not past due on your things like your utilities. You're not going to have your electricity shut off. You are caught up on your mortgage. You are caught up on your internet bill. So step 0 is to catch up on your essential bills. Step number 1 is then to save up a $2,000 starter emergency fund. Now, I work with people who are in high cost of living areas like Washington, D.C., Boston, Massachusetts, New York City. I mean, I could go through a whole list. San Jose, California, San Francisco, California. I've worked with people from coast to coast in the United States, helping them pay off all of their debt, all of it, and save for retirement, things like that. And And so if you are in one of those high cost of living areas, go ahead and up this starter emergency fund to 2,500. Okay. Because when things break, it costs more when you live in a place that costs more. We don't live in Franklin, Tennessee. So that $1,000 starter emergency fund is a lot more like water to us than a $2,500 starter emergency fund. So save between $2,000 and $2,500 as your starter emergency fund. Step number 2 is pay off all consumer debt using a debt payoff method, which we'll go into. Step number 3, so that's the step we're really going to be focusing on, is step number 2, paying off all consumer debt using a debt payoff method. Step number 3 is saving up a 4 to 6 month emergency fund. We've lived through COVID. We know 3 months won't cut it. Step number 4 is save 20% of your retirement income. 20% of your income for retirement. Okay, this is because we have seen the last few years take a toll. We've seen stocks skyrocket, we've seen them crash. Let's just make sure you have a nice cushy retirement. Step number 5, which is optional, is to save for your kids' college education. Step number 6 is pay off your home, also optional. Step number 7 is be incredibly generous while living within your means. Okay, so that's getting to that generosity. But we need to make sure that you are not trading your future needs to give. Instead, you can be trading your current wants and your future wants, but not your current needs and your future needs. So I work with a lot of incredibly generous folks, people who love to give. And part of working with those folks, and this is one of the lessons, don't worry, part of working with people who love to give, love to support other people, who make it their mission in life to give to people, is making sure that they are also keeping in mind their future self. They are taking care of their future self while they are giving to other people. You can give out of your wants, you cannot give out of your needs. Okay, if you're behind on your bills, your mortgage or rent, utilities, internet, phone, then you're on steps 0. And that's okay. That's okay. Everyone starts somewhere. I've been there. I've been on step 0, guys. So if you're there, that's okay. We're going to get you through it. If you're up to date on your bills, but you don't have $2,000 stashed away in case of an emergency, then you are on step 1, save a $2,000 starter emergency fund. We'll get to tactics on how to jumpstart this soon. Okay. So why $2,000? And we kind of covered this. It's usually enough to cover rent and food for a month, or a car breakdown, or a medical emergency, assuming you have insurance these days. Okay. And if you're caught up on your bills and you have $2,000 saved up in case of an emergency, then it's time to start paying off your debt. Hey, then great, start paying off your debt. And we're going to get right to that. But first, let's do some homework, okay? That was a lot of information. It wasn't that long. We haven't been here that long, but it was a lot of information. Here's what we covered: visualizing what you're working toward, the steps to financial freedom, and what step you're on. You need to, in today's homework, in this lesson's homework, I want you to write down what step you're on. Start writing down, and number 2, start writing down everything you spend. I also want you to download the vision. This isn't here, but it is part of your homework and it should be linked below. I want you to download the vision exercise and really think about and write down that future memory. What are you working toward? What are you going to create for yourself? What future are you working to get to? I understand you're here to pay off debt and I applaud that. I think that's great. It took me a long time to learn everything that is in here. Okay. I didn't know any financial gurus or anything like that. I was asking my family and very few people actually because I was embarrassed. But I didn't know any of these things when I first started, and not for years. So let's get you all the information you need to get out of debt and stay out of debt for the rest of your life. You never want to be in that position again. So let's do that. And your first step is to create your vision, write down what step you're on. So the steps to financial freedom, which step are you on? Is it 0? Is it 1? Is it 2? What step are you on? And then start writing down everything you spend. That's going to give you a little bit of a jump start, a head start in for the next lesson, for the next lesson's homework, for the next lesson, everything that we're going through. So write down everything you spent. Just write it down on a little piece of paper or notebook. We'll get more sophisticated in the next lesson. This is going to give you a bit of a head start. So before you start the next lesson, you should have your vision written out and visualized, the step you're on in the steps to financial freedom, and the beginning of tracking what you spend. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see you there. Ooh, excuse me. I'm really excited to see you in the next lesson. I cannot wait. We're going to get even more practical, like super more practical in the next lesson. So I'll see you there, guys. Bye.